I'm gonna do a little breath work today. If anyone, sometimes when you haven't been getting enough sleep or you just run down a little bit, where fatigue starts to come in. I think one of the greatest things that we can do is yoga. A lot of times we think, oh, I'm too tired to do yoga, or I'm too tired to take a walk, or whatever it is. And sometimes just a little bit of exercise can be just the ticket to kind of get the engines running if you're a little sleep deprived or fatigued. And breath work for sure is a part of that as well. So we're going to start our practice today with a little bit of breathing. So find a comfortable seat and get to a place where you're at ease and that your body is supported. So, I'm sitting up on a bolster. I don't know what you're sitting up on, but hopefully you're sitting on something instead of just being flat on the ground. And come to a comfortable seat. Okay, so just adjust, kind of wiggle around until you find just the right spot. Now, before we start centering and breathing, let's just do a little bit of cat cow while we're here. So round the spine a little bit and then arch the back a little bit. Okay, so just kind of going back and forth between a rounding of the spine and an arching. Come into your breathing. And then bring your arms up and have a big cactus arm. And then bring your hands down one more time. Big breath in. Cactus, open your arms. Okay. Bring your arms up. You can't see my hands, but interlace your palms and press them straight up toward the sky. And let the back body open a little bit. Okay, and then relax them. Now switch the cross, put the other finger on top. Find your breath. Just waking up the body. And then one more time, some cactus, and shake out your hands. Okay, we'll do a simple twist. Reach one arm up, bring the hand to the outside of the knee. Twisting the spine. It doesn't have to be huge or grand. Just find a little movement in your vertebrae. And then come back to center. Switch sides, arm up, hand to the outside of the knee. Breathing, opening up the collarbones. And then come back to center. And then let's just move the neck around a little bit so you can touch your teeth as you lift your chin up. Drop your chin down. And then lift one ear. Feel free to stretch that arm out to the side and press your hand out. Back to center. Second side, lift the ear. If you want to, you can press that hand out. And then relax. Okay. More rounded spine. Shrug your shoulders up. And then bring them back. And then we'll pause here for a moment and just feel just a little bit of waking up. Oh, I'm glad that happened now, so I can turn my ringer off. Sorry, everybody. Go ahead and find the grounding of your seat. Let's come into the beauty of your breath. Melt through the skull and through the face, all the tension that you might be holding. See what you can do to surrender a bit. All right, now let's just start with some beautiful Ujjayi breathing, a little bit of constriction in the back of the throat, a long, steady inhale. A long, steady exhale, all breathing through your nose. we're going to do a little bit of a box breath. So my count might be not right for you. And if that's the case, then change something. You can go faster or slower. But we're going to have even counts like a box. So even count, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And I'm going to count to 4, but you might be longer. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4. One more round. In. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4. Now that might have been a quick pace for you, a slow pace for you, or just right pace for you. Now just return to some normal breathing. Now that we've gotten our breath woken up a little bit, we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. So ring finger and thumb of your right hand on your nostrils, high up on the top of your nostril, not at the bottom tip. Adjust your body. So feel the long spine, a slight drop of the skull, a relaxed shoulder. You're going to breathe in through the left. And you're going to take your pace, switch nostrils, and breathe out through the right. So the rhythm, as you know, you're breathing out and then in through the same nostril, and then close that nostril off and switch sides. An out breath, an in breath, and then switch. Out, in, switch. So start to feel that this is nourishing the hemispheres of your brain, kind of bathing your brain in some oxygen, cultivating really good exchange of levels of carbon dioxide and oxygen. See what it feels like to have the steadiness of the mind focused on the breath. Notice because there's a blockage of passage that really the air is kind of moving, the pressure is moving into a different part of your sinuses. See if you can wake up the deep inner crevices of your breathing passageways. Try not to force or push, but just allow. How's the rest of your body doing? Relax your neck and shoulders, soften your eyes. Keep your diaphragm free. Notice the posture of your spine. When you get to a place where you are exhaling out of your left nostril, you can put your hand down at that point. Don't rush to get there. Just naturally find that end point. And once you get there, enjoy the feeling of breathing. Okay, so that the chambers, not only in your nostrils, but all your sinuses, hopefully have opened a bit through this. Feel how beautiful it feels to breathe through both sides of your nasal passages at one time. Just notice if you feel centered, if you feel awakened, you know that there's energy, calm energy. Let's place the hands together at the heart and bow into your practice. What is it that you need from your practice today? Cultivate an intention. Okay, great. And let's release the hands and find our way onto our back. All right, so harness what you just cultivated. The breath is such a beautiful gift. So let's keep breathing well as we start to move our body. Okay, so stretch your arms overhead when you're ready and reach through your body. Reach one side, then the other, and enjoy all the space. And then bring your knees into your chest. And let's rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. All right, circle the knees, rolling in one direction. Big breaths. Find your way moving in the other direction. All right, let's open up the knees away from each other and then bring them back toward each other. Just feeling the rotation of your hips, the availability of your hips right now. And then right knee in, left leg long. Feel free to roll around in your ankles, wiggle through your toes, have some range of motion. And then change sides, left knee and right leg long on the ground. Feel free to move your feet about. Breathing well. A good squeeze, a nice length in your spine. And then two knees come back in, find a rocking left and right. Let's open up to a star, spread your wings wide, and feel the sympathetic nervous system kind of kick into gear. So stretch through your fingers and your toes. Find your breath. Exhale all the way up, knees into your chest. One more time. Enjoy the invigoration. Big breath. Maybe hold your inhale for a moment. Squeeze your body. And then exhale and draw the knees in. Find your way onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, let's move through some cat-cows. And then as you are ready, you can change your position to be not just flexion and extension, but any kind of movement of the pelvis, the rib cage, the spine, the head, the shoulders, shoulder blades that you want to do. So let your center body warm up a little bit and move. Breathing deeply. And then come back to child's pose. Walk the hands forward. All right, inch, inch, inch. We're going to do this fairly actively. So finger pads on the ground. Suck up the center of your palm off the ground. Lift in the underbelly of your arms, underbelly of your armpits, even the underbelly of your rib cage. Relax your neck. And then melt and soften. Walk your hands over to one side so we find that sense of length through the side of your body. Open up the capacity for breathing here. Change sides over to the other way. Relax your neck, the side body's opening. A big, beautiful breath in and out. And then come back to center. Up onto all fours again. Move around in your spine. Move your head around, whatever feels good. Curl your toes under and stretch back towards a child's pose with your toes curled under. Remember, we're seeking our breath the whole way through our practice. Come back up on all fours, reach the left arm up, open the chest, exhale and drop that shoulder down, finding a twist on the side. Relax your neck, breathe well. All right, release that and come out. Bring the arm all the way up to the sky, hand comes down. Second side, arm up. Exhale, slide your arm through, gaze toward the earth, relax your neck, twisting the torso, opening things up. Breath is good, fine. Okay, so maybe if the twist, it's a little harder to breathe, but see if you can still make the breath come in deeply. And then as you're ready, go ahead and lift that arm up to the sky, hand down onto the ground, dog pose. All right, let's get our legs involved now. So pedal your feet out. Feel free to move around. Stretch open through the bottom of your feet, your Achilles, your calves. Feel free to bend one knee and drop the other heel. And then start to feel that that sensation can carry upward into your hamstrings. So maybe a little bit less movement in your knees and ankles and a little more space and lift through your sit bones. And then eventually come into some stillness where you're not moving your heels down any longer. We're lifting our thigh bones up and back. Spread open the bones of your hands and feet. Get broad. Yield down to rise up. Find the beautiful breath. Melt through your skull. Then let's walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana, grab onto the base of your skull with the heel of your hands and just have a little tiny tug. So you're stretching the fullness of the back body. And then relax your hands. Halfway lift, hands can be on legs, floor, or block. Exhale and melt. Rising up. Bring the arms to the sky. Remember, if you get dizzy, there's always choices to squeeze through the midline, to not lift your arms up, whatever feels good. And if your arms are up, lean back. Feel the thoracic spine have some sense of strength. Open across your chest. And then a big cactus through your arms. Now we're going to press both palms out to the sides. Fingertips up toward the sky. Pull your hands back another inch toward the wall behind you. Drop your shoulders. And let's do just a couple circles here. Is waking up some of the nerves in our arms. Breathing well. All right, now flip the palms out still, but fingers are down. Open up through your chest. And then reach those arms all the way up to the sky and float forward. Shake your hips, shake your shoulders, shake your head, let that go. A halfway lift. Gather some length in your legs and your spine. When your exhale comes, let it be full down a little bit. Let your head rest and melt. One more time, halfway lift, thigh bones back, legs are straighter. Open up the backs of the knees and the bottom of the feet. Exhale and melt to fold. Step your left foot back. Right foot is coming forward into a lunge. Open the chest up. Let's start to move with our breath. Keep opening those legs up. Feel the hamstrings open. Feel the hip flexors open. Feel into the deep compression of your hips and also the extension. All right. Now rise up. Bring your hands on your knee and twist. Keep your hands on your knee for a moment or on your thigh. Twist to the side a little bit, and then keep your right hand on your knee. Keep twisting and lift your left arm up. Feel that openness through the back leg, then turn forward and join with the other arm. Crescent lunge. Find your breath. Open your heart. Arms go anywhere that serves your body best. Remember the beautiful breath. And then release your hands down. Walk your back foot forward and fold. Relax your neck. halfway lift. Spine is opening up. Feel your legs stretch. Step your other foot back to a lunge. Left foot is now forward, opening up your chest. Let's start to move here. So feeling your legs, straightening your front knee, and then bending your front knee. Just finding your way into the range of motion that's available in your breath, in your body. The longer and smoother we can get our breath, the more connected we usually become to our practice. So stay in your breath as best as you can. When you're ready, bring your hands up onto your knee, lengthen through your spine, and find a little twist here, turning to the left. Notice your low back, try not to compress. Feel the lift through your spine. Breathing. Okay, let's keep our left hand on our thigh and reach the right arm up. Big breath. And join the other arm with when you're ready. Open the chest. Ground your legs. Feel the work. Press your front heel into the earth. Feel your glutes turn on. Hands come down onto the ground. Back to a dog pose. Spine gets longer. Feel that you're awakening the body, you're revving, your engines are revving, your breath is deep and full and supporting. Come forward into a plank. Steady yourself here. Find that integration. Shoulders away from the ears. A beautiful breath in and out. All right, let's put our knees down onto the ground to find the floor. Roll the shoulders. Let that neck get long. Feel the shoulder blades slide down the back and then lift to a cobra pose. Open beautiful chest. On your exhale, you come on down. One more time, rising up. Exhale. And melt again. Come up onto all fours. Swish about in your spine. Okay, let things soften. And then we're going to take our forearms down onto the ground. Lift your hips high. Dolphin pose. Extend through the spine. Round through your arms. Feel your shoulders lift away from the ears. A little bit of the inner thighs rolling back. Find your breath. All right, we're going to walk our feet back. Come into a forearm plank here. Chest moves forward. You can always put your knees down first if you need to. Open your chest. Breathing well. Feel your core support, inner thighs lifting to the sky. All right, and then let's lower our whole body down to the ground. Take your hands wide out beyond your mat and extend into a back bend. Reach your legs. Exhale. Melt. Come up onto all fours. Swish around in the spine. Drop back to child's pose. Find your breathing. Now grab 2 blocks if you can. Put them in front of you, stacked next to each other. Put your elbows on those blocks. And then you might need them a little wider than stacked right next to each other. You want them kind of shoulder width apart. And then drop your thumbs toward your spine. All right, so stretch through your triceps, through your armpits. And reach your hands out in front of you, palms facing up. When you're ready, climb up onto your shins, rising up. Exhale, hands come down. Turn if you're not already there to the long, so you're facing the long edge of your mat. And we're gonna come into gate pose. So foot is out to the side. So our left foot comes out, our right knee is on the ground, our shin on the ground. Press that shin into the earth, reach up and lengthen through the side of your body. Over into gate pose you go. You can always hold the back of your neck if you need a little support. Finding breath. Come back to center. Go ahead and switch sides. Okay, gate pose on the other side. We're having, now remember, if your foot doesn't point and touch the ground very well, you can always put a block underneath your toes to support if that's what you need. See if you can keep your hip over your knee instead of pushing it out to the side or sliding it too far forward. Okay, so find your place, reach your arm up, extend through the side of your body. You can always support your head if need be. Be light with your hand on your leg. Try not to hyperextend your knee. You don't want to lock into the posture. Open your chest. And then come back to center. Put your knees down onto the ground. Child's pose. Relax your arms down at your sides. When you're ready, rising on up. We're going to do a very gentle camel pose. Take your hands behind your back. Okay, so we're holding on to our sacrum. I have my fingertips pointing down. You can do this with your hands on your hips or your fingertips pointing up as well. So find the pathway that works for you. Elbows toward each other. Don't worry about going very far. And there's a deep internal rotation of the arms here, so there's not a lot of capacity to open our chest like we would if we had our arms freer. So just stay within the restraint. Press your shins, open the chest. Breath in, breath out. All right, and then back down to move on to sit on your shins for a moment. Pause here. Return to that beautiful deep breath. Inhale, up onto your shins. Exhale, hands down. If you're still on the side edge of your mat, just walk your feet forward so you can come into Uttanasana. If you want to go into dog pose and then walk your feet forward, that's great. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melt and full. Drop your seat, lift up. Turn again to the side edge of your mat if you're not already there. Okay. Take your legs wide on the floor. We're going to turn our toes out. Okay. This is very invigorating. So if you need a little pick me up, this is a nice thing to do. If we were in the studio, part of the sequence today, I would add some handstands in and maybe a headstand, but we're not doing inversions at home because I can't see you. Okay, so, but if you want to, you can always throw a handstand into your practice if you feel comfortable. Arms up to the sky. We're going to move into one side and then cross over and push on up. We're going to go both directions, so whichever way you started, that's fine. Let's do 5 in each direction. So that was 2. Moving across. Now you can do anything you want with your arms. They do not have to, you don't have to follow the way I'm moving. Drop low into your squatting. Rise up. We got one more to go. Find your breath. Meet up at the top when you're ready. Spread open your wings. Pause in goddess pose. Relax your arms down now so you can put your hands on your legs or your hands scooped together somewhere along your center line. Drop into your feet. Lift your chest. It doesn't matter how low you go. Go where you're able to keep your chest lifted. So if you drop low and you lean forward, come up higher. Drop into your feet. Ground those 4 corners. Open the breath. And then stand up straight and tall. Arms come up again. We're going the other direction. Over to the side, exhale. Sweep up on your inhales. You don't have to follow my breath pattern. Do what feels natural and comfortable. Go at the pace that feels good to you. One last one. Meeting at the top. Cactus your arms open. Find goddess pose with some cactus arms. Breathing deeply. Round your spine a little bit. Forearms come to touch. Arms straight up in the air. Find your breath. Spread open the bones of your feet. Ground, relax your neck. And then rise up and turn your feet straight and melt down. Hands to the ground or to blocks. Relax your neck and melt. Full breaths here. Soften your skull. And let's swing back to the front of your mat. Put your hands down. Take your feet back. Dog pose. Melt here. Feel the 4 points of contact. Engage in your yielding. Engage in your breath. Come forward when you're ready. Plank pose. Stretch your heels. Engage your core. Turn your navel to the right. Chest faces the ground. Back to center. Turn your navel to the left. Chest faces the ground. Back to center. Lower yourself down. Find any back bend that feels really good in your body. So there's so many choices. Find what feels right. Melt down. Come up onto all fours. Swish the spine about. Come back to child's pose for a moment. Breathing deeply. If you're skipping some dog poses, you can just climb up to stand from here. If you want to, pass through dog pose. Hands and feet wide and spread. And walk your feet forward and come into Uttanasana. Everybody rising up to stand when you're ready. Okay, grab a block, maybe two. We're going to take our right foot forward. Our left foot is coming back. Okay, so we're in a shorter stance. Parsvottanasana legs. You can take your front foot out to the side more if you need a little broader base of support. You don't have to be on a tightrope. Okay. Take a breath, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands on hips, tip forward, long spine. Ground through your feet, engage your core. Find your way a little further down. One more pause here. Push into your feet, feel your legs work for the posture. And then this next level, we'll put our hands on the blocks. You can have one block with two hands on it or two blocks. You can even stack one block on top of the other so you have extra height. So just find whatever support you need. Start to feel into the pelvis. Roll the inner thighs back. The sit bones are wide. Round through the front big toe as you pull the hip back. Relax your neck as best as possible. Breathing deeply. Climb all the way back up. Find your breath. All right, this time we're going to lift the left arm up. Come into a revolved triangle pose. So reach forward. You can stack up one block underneath the other if you need some extra height. Just find what's available to you. Drop some weight into your feet. Open through your chest. Lift the arm in the sky. Now you don't have to lift the arm. Maybe your hand stays on your hip. Shoulder blades stay down the back. Maybe you don't turn your head up. Just find your posture. Let the rib cage do the twisting. Stabilize your legs and pelvis. Keep the spine spacious. Relax and melt. We're going to bring the back foot forward, come into chair pose. Now you might want to stick a block between your thighs. That's very stabilizing. You can choose to bring your arms back. You can choose to put your hands to your heart, or you can choose to have your arms up. So just find the pathway that's right for you. Feel even effort in both sides of your legs. Your glutes are strong on both sides. Imagine you're trying to push yourself up to stand, but you're not. slowly rise up. Release your arms down, pause in Tadasana for a moment. Return back to the beautiful breath. The left foot is forward, our right foot is back now. You can take your left foot out to the side as much as you need. Hands come on the hips, open the chest. We're gonna have 2 pit stops along the way here. So first one, just lean forward a little bit, ground your legs, root into your feet, inner thighs back. How is your breath? And then lean a little bit more forward. Are you still able to be self-supporting through the strength of your glutes and legs? Feel your hamstrings kick in, your core kick in. And then we're going to go a little deeper. Put your hands on any form of blocks that supports. All right, so now we're just moving more into the stretch of the pose. Square up the hips, the inner thighs roll back, grounding through your feet. The big toe mound of that front foot is rooted with the other toes spread apart. See if you can melt the head and relax. Come all the way back up. Left hand is on your left hip, right arm is coming up to the sky. Find your breath. Tip forward and bring the hand onto a block or blocks. So for some, it might feel really good to stack one block underneath the other block so that you have a little bit more space and length for your spine. Inner thighs rolling back, ground the legs before you twist. Reach through the spine before you twist. When you're ready to twist, turn from the breath, from the core. Maybe your arm lifts up to the sky, maybe your head turns, maybe all those things don't happen and you keep your hand on your hip and your head can even turn down or neutral. So find your way. Notice if your front foot, if you lean more heavily into the pinky toe side of your foot, round the big toe. Try to have the shin pointing toward the big toe. Reach that hip back. How's the breath? And comes down. You can come onto all fours or to dog pose, depending on your shoulders and how you feel. If you're in dog pose, maybe try taking your feet wider apart. A big long spine. And we're going to come down to child's pose. Take your knees really wide on the mat and just start to open up the inner thighs a little bit more. All right. To sit on your heels if this is comfortable for a moment. Just let your legs experience a sense, squeeze, a sense of grounding. Come back onto all fours. Take your left foot straight back and curl your toe under. We're going to cross that leg over to the other side. So we're crossing over our right leg. Then we're going to turn our head and our eyes and look out over that foot. Open up the side body. Feel the side waist, the side of your hip stretch open. And come back to center, back to child's pose. Second side, back up onto all fours. Right foot stretches back, curl toe under. Cross the right foot over the left. We're turning and looking out over the left side of our mat where our right foot is. Breathe into the side waist. come back. Child's pose one more time. Melt here. Come up onto your shins. Hands behind your back. One more time, coming into camel pose. So, our elbows often want to kind of splay out. Let's see if we can keep the elbows drawn back. Open the chest. And just go a little bit into the pose. Press your shins. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can reach back. You can curl your toes under if you want. So there's a little ledge and you can reach back and grab your heels. You can also have two blocks if you want, so that you can bring your hands back onto the blocks. So however you want to go into the posture, find your way. You can also just keep your hands where they were. Relax. To come out of there, let's come onto our back. Lying down. A big breath in. A big exhale. Feet are flat on the ground. All right, hopefully the camel pose kind of prepared us for a deep, beautiful bridge pose. Now, when you come into this posture, if you're feeling open enough for it, when you climb up onto the tops of your shoulders, if you want to interlace your fingers, you can do that. If that's too much for your body, unwind your arms and have your palms facing up and press your arms into the ground. Keep your neck as neutral as you can and open up across your sternum. Feel your chest broaden, your rib cage flare. Ground into your feet, four corners. Let your belly move with your breath. Let's go ahead and relax our body down to the ground. Windshield wiper your knees. You can turn your head in opposition of your knees, releasing any tension you might have felt in your neck. Breathing deeply. We got one more back bend to do. Just trying to invigorate and create some energy in the body. So let's roll over onto our side and we're going to take a block. Now you can choose to do heart bench if you prefer, but if you're feeling up to it, try taking a block in between your shoulder blades across your shoulder blades, and that's the only prop we're going to have if your body tolerates this. If not, put a block under your head for heart bench. We're going to have that space supported. Drop your head back. You can put a blanket under your head or a block on the same height as your head. And then bend your knees for a moment, feet on the ground. Grab onto your elbows with your opposite hand. We're going to stretch the arms up overhead. All right, so see if you can clear your skull. Have enough length in your side ribs where your arms are above your head enough to clear the top of your head. And if not, that's okay. Just be where you are. Try to find as much extension in the armpits as you can. If your shoulder's unhappy, make a different choice. Okay, don't go as deep. Breathing well. And then we're going to release the arms back. Put your hands over your hearts. And we're going to change the elbows. Change the cross. And stretch again. Deep breaths here. Of course, your legs can go straight if you prefer. All right, and then while you're here, unwind your arms and put your arms anywhere you want them to be. You can cactus your arms. You can stick them straight out like a T. They can be overhead. They can be down. Find your breath. And we're gonna relax and don't do what I just did. I just picked my head up. Don't do that. Roll over onto your side to come out of the pose. Grab that block from behind you and put it underneath your head for a little support. And just rest here. And let your shoulders soften toward each other. The chest is collapsed in a soft, gentle way. The head is supported. Find your breath. All right. Come out of there and find your way to either pigeon pose or reverse pigeon pose, or a thigh crossed over thigh, whatever feels good. Try to let this posture, we've just done a lot to open up our thoracic spine and keep us breathing well. So when you come into this posture, try not to, erase all the good work that you just did by collapsing. Okay, so see if you can stay long and spacious. You can put your head on a block or your arms on blocks. Find your way into whatever kind of space your body needs. All right, so just allowing a nice, beautiful stretch in your hips. Breathing well. Ready? Find our way out of that posture. If you like to go into dog pose, by all means, go into dog pose. If you would just like to switch sides, then switch sides. Find your way to the other side. Maybe this pose is different on the side and you're doing reverse pigeon instead of pigeon, or you're coming into pigeon instead of reverse pigeon. So just find the pathway that's right for you. Support yourself. I have a blanket underneath my back thigh and my front sit bone. That makes my knee in a happy place. Maybe you need more height than that. Maybe you need less than height than that, but don't be afraid to use support. Support is not a crutch. It's not something that's going to hinder your capacity to open to your fullest. It actually allows you to open because you're not fighting against resistance as much. You meet your stretch point, wherever your boundary is, you want to come to it. Maybe breathe it a little bit more open, but we want to respect boundaries. You don't want to push and force and prod and poke your way across a boundary. Get to the fence line and then breathe, rest, and support yourself there. The line will naturally broaden if you allow the respect of your body to take its time at the boundary. Support your head, melt into your breath. Feel like it's been balanced between the left and right sides. We're going to come onto our back and lie down. Bring your knees to your chest. All right, so pause here for a moment. A little rocking left and right. Enjoy. Breathing well. All right, Cross your right thigh over your left thigh, knees in, toward your chest. And then spread your legs and limbs, all four of your limbs wide. Exhale, knees and chest up. Right foot down. Cross left thigh over right thigh, knees to chest. Melt your head. Relax as best as you can. Let's go ahead and keep the cross of your left thigh over your right thigh. You might want to ignore me and just put your legs together instead of thigh over thigh. We're going to scoot our hips over to the right a couple of inches. We're going to drop our knees over to the left. If this is too deep of a twist, you can unwind your legs and do a regular twist or stick a block underneath your knees or shins. Breathe well wherever you ended up. Let's find our way out of that twist. Unwind your legs. Cross right leg over left if you're doing this twist. If you're doing a regular twist, then just do a regular twist. Scoot your hips to the left. Drop your knees to the right. If you're using a block, you can put it underneath wherever it wants to go. I like it underneath my shin, but wherever you want it to be is great. And maybe you get all the way to the floor and you don't even need a block. All right, so find the breath. Come back to center. Bring your knees to your chest, rocking about a little bit. And then however you feel comfortable in Shavasana. If you want to lie on your back with your knees splayed out like Supta Baddha Konasana and a little support for a moment, you can do that. If you want support underneath your knees, you can do that. If you want to put your legs up on a chair, you can do that. Whatever feels good to you. Feel ourselves rest. Take your time to find the beauty of Shavasana. Give yourself an opportunity to consciously melt your limbs. Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Before you move, just allow your body to melt one more time. This consciousness of rest. Eventually finding some movement in your body. Let's enjoy some deep breaths. Coming onto your side as you're ready. Eventually finding your way up to sit. So let's bring our palms together. Have a moment to feel the centering of our practice, the gift of our breath. And offer this outward, sharing your energy with another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.